we are seeing this new flow. Today we will see something called screen flows. Okay, you can also do this using screen flow automations. So, sorry. Screen flows. So what it does, basically, if I shift it into free form, you will see the different kinds of activities which is possible to do using screen flow. Typically the same ones which you have seen already, but what special you are getting here is basically the screen that was not there in your record triggered flow, because there was no screen which you can give to users. But if you want to get some input from the users, you will definitely need to use this flow. This flow can be embedded on a page or can be fired from a button. Okay, let us see how this can be utilized. So let us make a screen which quickly gives you the ability to create multiple contacts for an account. Okay, one screen wherein you can create multiple contacts. So this is a screen wherein I will say create bulk contacts. Yeah, that's my screen name. And so what I will do, I will basically now I can configure the header also. I will put a repeater. Repeater means a section which automatically can repeat itself based on this add button. So this is a special display component which can be utilized to generate the same set of data again and again. Okay, that's a good control to use. Okay, and now let us use a name kind of a input text. So in name you can see first name, last name. This is a good API. We can say it's a new contact name. This API name for that component is necessary. So we have given new contact as the API name, and we will be putting first name, last name. Okay, and that is all. So done. You have one error. So what is the error? Let's see. Usually we have not given the API name of this one. So it's called contact repeater. Done. So now we have a screen. So how we can connect this screen and save this screen, and we can say bulk contact creation screen. Okay. And if I run this, you'll see how it looks like. It will run like this. You see, first name, you can say Animesh Banerjee. You can add Shonjit Kaur. Right. You can keep on adding multiple Oyon Chatterjee. Yeah. And you can do a finish. So this is a flow which runs but does nothing, right? Because we have not done anything else. So let us show you what is the next step. So what we will do, we'll basically create the contacts, right? Once this screen is populated, we will create the contact. So what we will do, we'll run a loop. And we say iterate over repeater. Right, which collections? So we have seen there is a contact repeater control is there, and we can see all items, right? So we will go through this contact repeater, all items, and we'll run the loop over this one. Let's connect this. Any confusion, any question till now?
No.
So this is basically my collection on which I am running my loop. So what I will do, basically what happens, we will create a variable, two variables now. Okay, so let's go one by one. One variable is basically called new contact list. Okay, What is this? This is a record kind of variable of contact object. And this is a list. That means it allows multiple values to be stored. Clear? Any confusion on this one?
No.
I will also create a individual new contact record. Which is also a record type, but this one is not allowed. It is a single record. Okay. So two variables. One is a list variable and one is a contact record variable. So list will have multiple contact record variables inside it. Okay. So from the repeater control, I will take the first name and last name and put it into contact records. Multiple contact records will then be added to the list record and will create the contacts at one stretch using the list. Okay. So let's see how it can be done. I'll go back to the assignment. Create, or we can say populate contact record. So what is my variable? My variable is already called new contact record dot first name. Where will I get this? From my current item, new contact, first name. Similarly, in this variable, last name equal to current item, new contact, last name. So two field values are filled up. Please understand this like I have a mug. This is the mug. I am filling the mug using water, and I will store this in a bucket. Okay, so this is the mug. So another thing is that a contact needs first name, last name, and also the account association, right? Yes. We do not know what is the account that needs to be associated, right? Which these contacts are created for which accounts, right? So let us also create another variable. We can create from here also. This variable is called record ID. Please remember this name. We have to name it like this only. Why? I will come to that later. This is a variable which will be passed externally to the flow. We do not have the value of this record. Okay, this will be passed externally to the flow. What will be the data type? Data type is again a record, but this will be available for input. And what type of object is this? It's the account object. Oh, sorry, data type would be text. Okay. So what I'm doing is that I am passing the record ID from outside of the flow, wherein I will get the account ID that will be supplied outside of the flow, right? For the account on which I want to create the contacts. And that is why this checkbox available for input is very necessary. So I have created now this record ID, but this will not be utilized as a variable to load. Rather, the contact record account ID will be the record ID. Any questions, any confusion so far?
So last step, can you just repeat why we are
so every contact needs a first name, last name, and an account ID, right? In order to associate the contact to an account, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't have the account ID, right? This is a screen flow. It is not a, it does not have a dollar record ID, something of that sort, right? Nothing is there.
Right.
So it's a screen. So this screen, these contacts will be created for which account? I do not know, right?
Right.
So I have to externally provide this data into the flow. So this is an external data variable, which is I am assigning to my contact record. I will pass the value later.
Okay.
Okay. First name, last name I am getting from the repeater control.
Right.
For each item I am getting the first name, last name. I am putting this into a variable, record variable. Okay. So first I am populating a record variable for each item. And then what I'm doing? Soon after, I am putting this in another assignment, which is called adding to new contact list. What is this? This is the list record which I have. I will make this to add, and this contact record is now added to the list. Okay. So what is happening is that one variable is getting populated, that is getting added to the list. Again, the same variable is getting populated, again getting added to the list. Again, the second variable is same variable is getting populated and getting added to the list. Clear? So it's a three-step process. This, then this, then this, and then back to the loop. Any confusion? Any questions?
No.
Now, if there are, like, I create 3 contacts, then this loop will fire 3 times. This variable will be populated 3 times, the same variable. The same variable will be added to this list 3 times, and the loop is over. Then I can create a record, and we say create new contacts. This time I will create multiple contacts, and I will use the new contact list as my last step. Any questions, any confusion? So now?
No, it is the list variable is populated with the account ID and something like that at the runtime. So it will be just added to that account contact.
Absolutely.
And from the list, the record will be created.
Yes. So if you run this right now, I save this. And I run this. Let's see. Test contact 1, test contact 2, and test contact 3. And I do a next. If I go back to my contact screen, you'll see 3 contacts has been created, but there is no account, right? Because I did not pass the account ID.
Yes.
That is null, right? So this flow is working very fine, but the account association is not happening. Okay. So now I will activate this flow. Now I will use this flow. As I said, the flow, screen flow, can be used in 2 different ways. One is that you can put this on any screen, or you can fire this from a button. Let us put this in the account screen, right? That makes more sense. So if I am in the account, if I give somebody a tab on this side to create accounts, I think that is the best use of this, right? So I have contacts and use. So let us go and edit this. Yeah, any questions? Okay, so I will find the flow component from here, put it probably, let us create a tab here, or yeah, let us create a new tab. Let's make this okay, custom tab. Name this contact creator bulk, and inside this I will drag the flow component, and here I will select the flow which I have created. Which flow I have created? Bulk
The
contact,
bulk contact.
right? Here I am pass record ID to this variable. Which record ID? Whichever account I will be opening, that account record ID will be passed to the flow. This will go into this record variable. You see the record
Okay.
ID set.
So this is the thing that external ID is passing to that record ID.
Yes, the variable is now getting value, right? Save. So now I will go and test this. Contact bulk creator is here. Let's see what contacts are there. Only one contact, right? Nothing is there. So let us now test it. Test again. One. Test again. Two. Test again. Yeah. So let us go to the contact. Now I am seeing 3 contacts has been created, as well as it has gone associated also, because otherwise it is not able to show it here, right? If you go to the contact screen, now you will see that the association is also working because the variable is getting passed.
Okay. Yeah.
Correct? So I now have created a screen through which I can create multiple contacts at once using a very simple screen, iterating over it and creating the contacts. And please remember one thing: contacts are not created one by one. What we have done in the flow, please remember this: I have one create action, but a list is creating multiple contacts. So now the best practices: inside loop, never use create record, update record, get records, or delete records. So these data things, data activities must never be inside loop. It should be always outside the loop. If you are creating multiple records, you should be creating a list and use the list to fire one activity only. Okay? There is a high temptation that after this assignment, you can fire a new create record and then move to the next flow, right? Could have been done, but never do that. So there should be only no DML activity inside loops. Okay, please remember this is the best practice. So always use a list variable, and list variable will fire only once. There will be one database operation and we'll create multiple records. Any question, any confusion on the screen flows?
No, I know that.
Okay, cool. So that is how. Now let us see how we can fire the same using a button. Yeah. If I go to the account record, in the button link and actions, you can create new action. And you can say, I am using a flow kind of a thing. Bulk create action screen will be used, and we'll say bulk contact creator is the name of the action. Save it. Done. Now I will go back to my whatever is the logic. See, edit is the only action here. IM most probably we have done is that we have created a dynamic action, right, on the page. If I am correct, yes, dynamic action. So I can add action here, and we can say bulk contact creator is now added here, and save. Once we do this, we can fire the same flow from here also. It also works the same way. Please remember, once we are firing from a button, there is nowhere we are passing the record variable, right? Please remember that. When we embedded this inside here, we pass the account ID, right? But in this button click, we are not passing the account ID, right? So this account ID is automatically passed. Created, right? It is automatically passed when you have a variable which is named as record ID. Salesforce automatically, please remember the casing also, R in small, I in capital only, D in small. So this variable, if a flow has a variable like this and it is enabled for external loading, from a button, this variable is automatically populated by Salesforce.
Okay, so that's why it should be mentioned that the record ID is okay.
So you have to use exactly that name so that this automatically gets populated. Clear? That is how the data passing happens between a screen flow, which is not embedded inside the screen. When it is embedded inside the screen, you can directly pass using that checkbox.
Okay, and for the button purpose, it is automatically taken because we have give the naming convention based on the
Record
Salesforce.
ID. Yes, exactly. So had you named this one, this variable something differently,
Mhm.
it would have worked in your
Screen
embedded screen, but it will never work in the
button.
button click.
Okay.
So the record will be dangled. I think records, yeah, record will not be created.
No, association will not be created. Record will be created.
Association, record
Association
will be
will,
created. Yeah, linking will be
ping
not.
pong will not be created. Account ID will not be populated.
Yeah,
Mm.
contact will
Now
be dangled.
for the screen flow, we can activate that pass flow by I mean ticking the checkbox. But for button, it will not work.
No. Okay. So we have to name exactly as record ID, then only it will work from buttons. If you give any other variable name, you can pass it in the embedded screen. Clear? Any questions? Any confusion? Okay. So now let us go and come back to the assignment. So in this assignment, we want to create a, this was done, right? Standard salary thing, or it was not done?
Standard salary
No,
currency.
it is not done.
Not done. Okay. So let us go to take this assignment. So create a standard salary field if you have already created. This standard salary field will be created on actor object. Okay. Once I fill up the standard salary field, all the salaries of that actor will be overwritten by that field. So if I put 20 crore as the standard salary of Ranbir Kapoor, then he was getting 10 crore or 20 crore for the Barfi and Tamasha, both will become 20 crore. If I put 30 here, both will become 30. Yeah. So whatever I will put in standard salary will automatically go and override for that actor into all his films. This field needs to be created in the actor object. Okay, but it will impact, of course, the salary. Salary stored in which object?
Let me one thing. Stand will be a screen flow, right? Through
No,
which
may not be.
we will update.
You can create a screen flow also. Yeah, let's do this as a screen flow. No need to create a field. You make it a
Okay.
screen flow.
Okay, so that actor record will be updated. Instead of creation, we have to create. We have to do the update option.
Yes. So whenever your standard, whenever you are putting any value in the this then screen, this should be an embedded screen in your actor object. In the actor screen, you will add this standard screen functionality, a field. Whatever you put there, when you do next, all the salary will change into whatever you are putting here for that actor only. Please remember, not for other actors. Clear?
Embedded, I will get that ID, and then we have to update all the ID wise. We have to update. We have okay, that I have to check.
Any questions
No,
or
I'm
understanding?
thinking.
Cool.
Yeah,
Let us go to the last kind of flow. This is very rarely utilized, but you should know this one. It is called schedule triggered flow, right? What happens? This flow automatically fires at some point. So we can say that from tomorrow or at today, is it, what is the time? The time is at maybe 12 o'clock, 12 p.m. Please remember, this is the start date and end time on your org's time zone. Okay, so we have to remember what is my org time zone that you will get in my company information. In company information, you will see what is the time zone of this org. This is the time zone. This is my server time. Okay, so based on that, this time will be firing. So you can fire a frequency is once. That means this will fire on flow will only fire once. You can schedule it to fire daily. You can schedule it to fire weekly, right? These three things are there. So if it is daily, then what happens? So whatever. So what every day you can do a bit of activity inside this flow. So you can do all things. So if you check all this, like I want to run a flow which will automatically do some activity for a set of accounts, right? Let me say that I want to run this flow can fire for any object. So you can say that I want to fire this for account object. What? Let us run this flow only for active equal to no. So I will run this flow for all accounts wherein active is set as no. Okay, so flow will fire for each account at that time, for each account which has conditions as no. How many are there? How can I check? I can go to account. I can create a new list in active accounts. All user can see this one. I will make it all accounts, then add filter, active equals no. Save. There is no account which is set. So let us make these accounts active is equal to
Right side. Yeah, this one.
Achha, let's do one thing here. Active accounts. I think there are some flows which is nothing. Add filter active equals to null. Add filter logic or save. So now I have 3 accounts wherein active is set as null. Okay, I can also change this condition to active equals to null. It's an AND condition. We can make this OR condition. Okay, so how many times this flow will fire? This flow will fire for 3 times. Okay, and what it will do? I can take necessary action. I said that remove the delete inactive account. Triggering account. I just make this triggering account. I will delete this triggering. Right. So automatically a bit of data processing you can do using scheduled triggered flow. Please use this scheduled triggered flow to show me how the co-star values can be calculated. Right? Co-star you have done using the record triggered flow. Also show me how this can be done using scheduled triggered flow. Okay. One scheduled triggered flow which will fire for each actor and calculate the total co-star for that actor. Please remember some limitations of the scheduled triggered flow. The scheduled triggered flow cannot fire more than 1 lakh. So you cannot run for more than 1 lakh records. Okay. Your context or number of flow interviews, as they say, cannot be more than 1 lakh in an org. Okay. So you have to remember that this cannot be used for a huge number of data processing. Can be in a smaller way, we can use it. If there's a large number of data processing that is required, then we have to use a batch class. We will go into Apex in that case. Any questions? Any confusion?
So we have two tasks. One is we have to update the salary, and second one is we have to count the
Number of
co-actors.
So actor using
Number-
schedule
Twice.
filters, yes. And the counting will happen at midnight for each actor, and all the co-star values will be populated. Total
Already
co-star
we-
total co-star value will be populated. Clear? Instead of, because here right now, what you have done is that you have to hit a button, click and edit and save, right? Then only your flow will fire, isn't it?
Yes.
But if I have a schedule triggered flow, there is no manual intervention at all. Automatically, it will calculate the total co-star at midnight. There will be delay, definitely, but it is an automatic process. Clear?
Okay.
That is all we had today. That is the end of automation. We'll move into security and sharing in the next classes.